bombshell developments in Washington as Kevin McCarthy is removed as House Speaker, and he announces he's not going to run for the position again. This is going to have a major impact on California politics. Coming up, I'll tell you how. I'm Carl DeMaio, chairman of Reform California, and I didn't even see this one coming. I did not expect that Kevin McCarthy would throw in the towel. Yes, I thought that he would probably lose the motion to vacate because there's so much discontent with McCarthy not keeping deals, not being conservative enough, not fighting hard enough. All of those are legitimate concerns and complaints that have been lodged against him, and obviously legitimate enough that he lost the motion to vacate and did not see a path back to becoming Speaker. It's unfortunate that he did not learn those lessons back in January, because those were some of the same issues that resulted in him having to do 15 rounds of balloting just to get the job in the first place. McCarthy says that he needed to put the institution and the interest of the American people first. And look, I understand that that is an argument to be made. The counter argument is that the American people don't want business as usual. What passes as putting the institution first or making a deal to move things along in Washington is not accepted as a worthy definition back home on Main Street or in the communities across this country. Let me say real quick to the Democrats and the liberal media who say, look at the chaos that the Republicans have created. You want to see chaos? Take a look at our southern border. You want to see chaos? Look at our financial situation with trillions of dollars in debt. You want to see chaos? Look at the failure of our school system and the radical agenda that political groups on the left are trying to insert into the classroom. That's real chaos in America today. The smash and grabs, the crime, the homelessness, that is real chaos. So why don't you start fixing the real chaos in America? Now, look, it is a chaotic system and situation right now amongst House Republicans. They need to get their act together. They need to select a leader. But my hope is that that new leader listens intently to the reasons why Kevin McCarthy fell from the speakership. Kevin McCarthy tried it one way. It's now to try it the other way. To be principled as a conservative, to fight, to stand your ground. And if the Senate and the president don't want to go along, well, at least you know you did your job and you changed Washington in the area in which you can control. I'm not going to give any predictions as to who they're going to select. But I will say that this is not just one person that can fix the problem. This is going to have to be a Republican Party-wide fight. It's one of the reasons why President Trump has so much support in the Republican Party. Voters are sick of politics as usual and niceties. They want action because our nation faces a crisis. And let me say, there are some implications here in California. First and foremost, Kevin McCarthy is a member of Congress from California. So the question will be whether he resigns or whether he even stays to the end of his term and whether he runs again. That's obviously important to his district. But Kevin McCarthy, secondly, runs the California Republican Party. It's no secret that Jessica Patterson works for Kevin McCarthy, that all of the operatives in the California Republican Party, the donor class, are all very aligned with McCarthy. Here's an opportunity for Miss Patterson, for all those operatives, for the donors. Put California first. That doesn't mean you're giving up on the House seats that are necessary to keep our majority. But what it means is you now have an opportunity to make a difference in California, to do it right, to actually care about school board races and local races and state assembly races and state senate races. And by the way, speaking of the state assembly and state senate, for the few Republicans that we have left, the message rendered today in the removal of Kevin McCarthy is also directed at you. You need to fight on principle. No more go along to get along. No more Stockholm syndrome. No more, let's see if the Democrat supermajority throws us some crumbs and take what we can get. Fight. Fight like your life depends upon it, because guess what? Many Californians' lives depend upon your leadership, and they have not seen good leadership up to this point. We are at an inflection point as California Republicans, and my hope is that what just happened in Washington is heard loud and clear amongst California Republicans at every level, from our legislative delegation all the way down to City Hall. And finally, for you grassroots activists, stay the course. This is not the party of elected officials. It's not the party of the donor class. It's not the party of political consultants. This is your party. Politicians, donors, and mega donors and consultants are good at one thing: getting in front of a parade that you start down the street. So I urge you, let's take this leadership change and make that same leadership change here in California, at the Republican Party, in Sacramento, in City Hall in your local area, in county Republican Central Committees. It's time to fight. It's time to say no more go along, get along. We are going to pick a lane. We're going to pick an aggressive lane. We're going to stand on principle, and we're going to fight. At Reform California, we've been leading that fight for a while. We want to grow our movement. So join us. Go to the website, reformcalifornia.org. Sign up to be a volunteer. Chip in a contribution. Tell us if you want to run for office. We'll help you. And make sure that you get involved in this fight, because you are needed more than ever. With that, I'm Carl DeMaio, Chairman of Reform California. Thanks for watching. Help us break through the censorship of the liberal media by liking this video, sharing it with your friends, and subscribe to my YouTube channel.